Last week I compared the new Manchester United 23-24 home shirt with the 90s versions, and this week we're going to take a look at all the new Premier League home kits and compare them to the 93-94 versions. 30 years on, 3 decades later, have football shirts improved, or is it indeed true that the 90s was the golden era for football kits? Today we're going to find out. Let's do this. Right guys, do not fear, this isn't a Man United only channel. We do all kinds of 90s nostalgia, so check out my other videos after this video. I am showing my age because I've got the Grandad case on the go, but we're going to be using the phone to take a look at the new 23-24 kits in the Premier League and compare them, as I said, to the 93-94 version. So we're going to start this in alphabetical order with Arsenal. So looking at Arsenal's new kit right here, I know some people are very fond of this. I've seen some other ranking videos on YouTube and they've got the new Arsenal kit very high on the list, and I think rightly so. But there is a few people that have been taking the mickey out of Arsenal, as you do. I've done it from time to time, saying that the new gold trim on the kit was a bit premature. It was done by Adidas, presuming Arsenal were going to win the title last year before they were picked at the post by City. I don't know, I think it's an easy accusation. Obviously it's been marketed as 20 years on since the Invincible season, so I kind of get the gold. You know, it's like a centenary kit, but for the nostalgic look back 20 years on to go and unbeaten. I really like it. Gold on a kit always looks nice. So as we just flick over for a sec and have a look at the 93-94 version, this has got that iconic Adidas equipment. Was it the Adidas equipment template where it had the Adidas logo at the bottom of the V-neck? An iconic kit. We know that Liverpool had a similar kit to this during the same season, which we'll get onto in a moment. I like the sleeves, I like that little bit of blue. It's a very iconic kit. Obviously nostalgia plays a big part. If we were marking this objectively, it would be very difficult. Two really nice kits, so I'm actually going to hold off on the marking of this kit to the end of the video. I'm going to move quickly on to Villa because I do have a 93-94, albeit child version of the kit. Let's get it out right now. 2 secs. So there was a battle between my mum and dad as to who I was going to support as a kid. Obviously I went for the glory, I went for United, but there was a brief time where I was kind of supporting Villa. So here is that shirt. This was also used in the 94-95 season. For me, I've done other ranking videos in the past, and for me this is one of the most iconic shirts of the 90s. Obviously nostalgia again plays a part because I've got some childhood memories wearing this shirt. But what I loved is the Muller sponsor. We've got so many crap betting sponsors, which I'll get onto in a moment, which Villa do have this season. We've got the Muller. They also did a yogurt version and Muller yogurt version, I think, as well. There was a few different versions of the sponsor, which was very 90s. But that pinstripe is an iconic shirt. So now comparing this iconic shirt with the new 23-24 version, I mentioned the sponsor on here. Everyone remembers the Muller sponsor. The new Villa shirt is beautiful. They've changed the badge, as you can see. People have been taking a mick again and saying it's a rip-off of the Chelsea badge. No, it's a bit of a throwback again to the 80s when Villa were very successful, European glory and all that. The shirt itself, if you took away the sponsor, is beautiful. They've done a really good job. There's a little bit of detailing within the actual shirt itself, but again, the betting sponsor lets it down. Some people are saying the 8 looks alright as it stands out. Some people are saying it ruins the shirt. I'm not going to say alone that sponsor has ruined the shirt and that's the reason why I'm putting this shirt above that shirt. Obviously Battle of the Sponsors, this would win, but I think Battle of the Kits means this will win as well. So for me, the 93-94 version is way better than the new version, even though I do quite like the new Villa kit. I'm going to try and spin through these guys. So next up, we've got Bournemouth, and I've gone for the 23-24 kit over the 93-94 kit. Take a look at the 23-24 kit. I really like it. Let me just refer back to it on my phone. The reason I do like the new Bournemouth kit is they've gone back to traditional red and black stripes. there's some slight detailing on the edge of those stripes, but compared to last year, I'm not a fan. I know like Inter Milan and AC Milan have done it. I'm not a fan of those fuzzy stripes where they blend in with each other. I know they're trying to be different. There's new kits every year, so they've got to try and be unique, but that's quite a traditional looking Umbro template. I still like Umbro kits. Again, it's the 90s in me. Really liking the new Bournemouth kit. And if you go on their website as well, on the Superstore, they actually do an unsponsored version of the home shirt, which is even bloody nicer. Just take a look at that on the screen right now, the unsponsored version of the Bournemouth shirt. If we look at the 93-94 version, it's bloody crazy. Now you might think, right, you know, you love 90s stuff, you love the crazy kits of the 90s. I've done ranking videos before, but for me, this is just too much. Those who know me or have seen previous videos know I love that pony template with the V. Just take a look at this template, or maybe it was a one-off. This is just a little bit too much. If you compare the pony kits with this one, the pony kits are far superior. This kit right here with a frizzle sponsor, for me, very 90s, but it looks like a pair of pyjamas. So 23-24 Bournemouth kit wins this one. Next up, we've got Brentford. I thought this kit wasn't released yet, but it's literally just been released. We've all seen the leak kit. The new Brentford kit has got the gradient stripes. Some people don't like this. I know Thogden's done a video and he really didn't like the gradient stripes, the red stripes going into the black. For me, I quite like that version of the Brentford kit. I think it looks a lot better now it's released as an official picture rather than the leaked versions. If you look at the previous Brentford kit in the 93-94 season, they had a Hummel one with the old badge, KLM sponsor. It's very 90s. It's a little bit like the Hereford kit I've got over here. 2 secs. If you compare that Brentford one on the screen with this Hereford kit, I know they're different manufacturers. You've got Pellini as the Hereford one. The collar, the stripes, that little popper button at the front, very typical 90s style kit right there. Very typical of 90s kits in the lower divisions as well. Obviously Brentford weren't quite firing like they are right now in the Premier League. Moving on. So there's actually 4 teams that I'm not going to be adding to the rating or ranking system in this video, and the first one of those is Brighton, because there are leaked kits, leaked versions of the new Brighton kit out there, but I'm not going to go by that. It's not a trustworthy enough picture for me to put against the 93-94 shirt. If you see the 93-94 shirt on your screen right now, it's very 90s. It's quite nice. Obviously, again, similar to Brentford, Brighton weren't quite the force they are at the moment in the Premier League. And going back to Hereford, I remember Brighton in 97 relegating Hereford. So my memories of Brighton in the 90s aren't that fond. Sorry, Brighton, but I like Brighton now. I'm over it, kind of. And the same goes for Burnley. So I was at Classic Football Shirts in Manchester a couple of weeks ago, and obviously they had the old or last season's Burnley kit everywhere. Classic Football Shirts is obviously a classic sponsor to have for any football team, and last season's kit was really nice, but I've not actually seen any leaked versions of the new Burnley shirt. But I did see this, which is on the screen right now, which is no more Classic Football Shirts. Burnley announced betting firm W88 as new kit sponsor. Another bloody betting sponsor. So even though Burnley's kit isn't out there, it's not going to be as good as last year's, is it, with that Classic Football Shirt sponsor? If you look at the 93-94 version with the Ensley sponsor, looks like a 90s Villa kit. Very, very typical 90s, again with the collar. Nice kit, but we can't really add it to today's ranking system. Chelsea's kit, again, hasn't officially been released, but there's been so many leaked photos, especially this one in a shop. Obviously, the new Chelsea kit on the screen right now is kind of slightly based on, was it the 97-99 kit? Let me just check my notes. Yeah, 97 to 99 throwback. It had the white bits under the sleeves, the yellow trims. Now we look back at that kit again with nostalgia. We look back at fond memories of Zola, Di Matteo, all kinds of classic Chelsea players from the late 90s. We look at that kit fondly, but I'm pretty sure at the time the opinions of Chelsea fans are probably a little bit mixed. It's a lot lighter blue than they would have had previously. They didn't have so much white on their kits. So again, we need to think about it objectively rather than through nostalgia, through rose-tinted glasses. You know, that said, looking at this Chelsea kit right now on my phone, I do think people are overreacting a little bit. I don't think it's quite as bad as people are making out. But again, with that said, how can you seriously put this beautiful Amiga kit with a red trim, the old red Chelsea badge, you just can't rank that above that leaked version. So unfortunately, I don't know, we're a Nights Football channel. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the Amiga 93-94 Chelsea kit. Moving on to their London neighbours, we got Crystal Palace. Now this new Crystal Palace 23-24 kit is beautiful. I know not everyone likes half and half kits. We all hate half and half scarves, but this red and blue cinch kit that Crystal Palace have released right now is beautiful. They've even got that palacey kind of detailing within the shirt, and if you watched my video last week on the United shirts, that's something I missed from the 90s, the detailing within the shirt. Everything's quite a generic template these days, so I really like the new Crystal Palace shirt. And I have put Palace in, again, a previous video ranking Premier League kits, I think from 94-95. This possibly is the same one. This kit I'm really not a fan of, so I'm going to put the new 23-24 kit above the 93-94 kit. Moving swiftly on now to Everton. We don't want to keep lingering on the betting sponsor. They've had stake for a couple of years now, I think. But look at the size of that bloody stake sponsor on the new Everton kit. It's not a bad kit. It's got a collar. It's got a nice little nod to Goodison Park within the collar, within the sleeves. That detailing. It's the last kit Everton are going to be wearing at Goodison Park. I think the 23-24 kit's quite nice. It's definitely improvement on last year. I'm not sure about the material. I don't know if you could tell in the picture, but it's quite a glossy material. But when you compare that to a similar collar version, an Umbro version from 93-94, the kit which was used in the 94-95 season, which Everton beat Man United in the FA Cup final in, that shirt I'm sure brings back fond memories for Everton fans. Maybe not so fond memories for me, for my early years as a United fan. But I'm going to put that 93-95 Everton kit over the new kit. It's close, 93-94 for Everton. Definitely need to get back in that gym over there because I'm struggling to hold the camera here. We're moving on to Fulham. Now a lot of people, again, I disagree with this Fulham kit. I watched the Thogden video, I watched a few people who have ranked the new Premier League kits, and people haven't spoke that highly about the Fulham kit. They've got the red bits on the one sleeve, they've got the white bits on the other sleeve, obviously both got black bits on each sleeve. On the screen for you obviously is the new Fulham kit. Comparing the new Fulham kit with the 23-24 version has been quite easy for me. I know a lot of people would probably go with the old kit. The old kit actually looks, if you look on the screen right now, I'm going to have to do a Hereford reference again. The 93-94 Fulham kit looks very similar to this Hereford kit right here, the kit I was wearing when I was a mascot for Hereford in the 90s when I was a little lad. Shout out to any Herefordians watching the video right now. I know there's a few of you. Again, not very fond memories of Fulham in the 90s because Fulham weren't quite the force they are today either. Fulham were in the lower divisions playing Hereford in the 90s. But for me, it was an easy one again. I've gone with the 23-24 kit, despite the fact that Fulham now have last year's lead sponsor. A little bit of a sour taste in the mouth on that one. Moving on to Liverpool, a little bit easier doing it this way. Moving on to Liverpool again, I'm not going to show my bias, my United bias should I say. Liverpool kits, I know obviously as a United fan I'm not going to enjoy too much, but it's fair to say that the 93-94 Liverpool kit is a really nice kit. We referred to the Arsenal version at the start of the video, which we'll finish up with. It's got that Adidas equipment collar. Liverpool's I'd actually say is nicer than Arsenal's. It's such a nice version. Now obviously United's kits haven't been perfect over the years, but I don't think Liverpool's 90s kits, especially later on in the 90s, early 2000s, I don't think they were the most creative of kits. And that can definitely be said for the current Liverpool kit. Again, we're going to divide opinion right here because I'm sure there's Liverpool fans that love the new kit. People who love simplicity. It's a simple design. But again, I really didn't like United's kit, not last year, the year before. The one when Ronaldo came back with a white collar and the white trim. The new Liverpool kit is pretty much identical to that Manchester United kit. For me, as a 90s fanatic, I do quite like the crazy, more out there versions of football kits. So for me again, it was an easy decision to choose the 93-94 kit over the current Liverpool kit. It's hard to hate the new Liverpool kit, it's just there's not a lot to it really. Now Luton Town is the third out of the 4 teams I can't rank today because Luton don't currently have even really any leaked pictures of their 23-24 kit, and I feel quite bad as a football fan. I feel like I'm failing myself as a football fan, because looking back at Luton's previous kits, had a bit of a shock because their 93-94 home kit, correct me if I'm wrong guys, was white. I forgot that Luton kind of switched colours over the years. They had white and black for a little bit, like Hereford, and they kind of went to the orange and the blue trim with a bit of white and stuff. They went on to that another time. They've kind of bounced back and forth. I think they gave the fans a vote as to what colours they were going to wear. Last year's kit was quite red, but it was a really nice kit last year. So yeah, on the screen right now, Luton's kit from back then. Really hard to find a Luton kit from 93-94, even on Google. It was quite tricky to find. Now moving on to another rival of United, City, the absolute mammoth force that is Manchester City. Off the back of the treble, we obviously saw this season's kit at the tail end of last season. It's again a 20-year anniversary thing, similar to Arsenal, but 20 years since moving to the Etihad. Obviously at the time it was known as the City of Manchester Stadium, I believe, which I think was built for the Commonwealth Games. It's not a bad kit. I think City, it's hard to make a really disgusting City kit. That sky blue, it's just nice to the eye. They always tend to have nice kits, as much as it pains me to say that as a United fan. I don't think it's the best kit they've ever had. It was very close comparing 23 and 24 with 93 and 94. But the reason I went with 93 and 94 for Manchester City, again, because I like Umbro, but it kind of had the trim that was similar to the England kit during the Italian 90 era. I love that Umbro trim with the diamonds. So for me, 93, 94 edged it. Now, obviously, moving on, I was about to put my collar up. We don't have a collar. Eric Cantona would not be happy. We can compare this one in person. We obviously did this last week, and I'm already regretting my decision a little bit. Not because I dislike this kit, but I think in my last video, again check that video out, I think I put the new kit above this kit, which I know United fans are going to be thinking, what? The reason being, it's an iconic kit. We love the laces, but let's be honest, we love it from a nostalgia point of view. I think this version of a laced kit was better than like Villa had, or I think there was Sheffield United, we'll get onto them in a moment, who had the round neck with the laces. I don't think that looked great. I think the collar version was definitely better. They had to have a collar version because of King Cantona. The red's a little bit light for me. It does have the MUFC kind of in the material, but as we mentioned in last week's video when we did the United shirts, all the kits that Umbro did that year with the laces also had a similar thing within the shirt. So it wasn't that unique to United. I like this because we got, is it the Lancashire Rose within the shirt? It's a little bit more personal to United than this one right here is. And I think to play in, to wear around, this kit has just grown on me. I even preferred last season's kit to this kit when I first saw this kit leaked. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go, unfortunately, is it unfortunate? I'm going to go with a new kit. I'm going to go with 23-24 when comparing the Man United kits. Next up guys, we've got Newcastle, and the new Newcastle kit has a new Newcastle kit has a new sponsor. A bit of a tongue twister right there. Seller. It's not a bad kit, it's quite basic. I think Castor have done quite nice with this season's kits. Like I said, I like the Villa kit. It's not a bad kit, it's not the best kit, but it's a clean, and yeah, it's definitely not a bad kit. But if you compare modern Newcastle kits with 90s Newcastle kits, it's very tricky. Now, did you know that the 93-94 version of the Newcastle home strip had 3 different sponsors? You had the one on the screen right now, the traditional McEwen's Lager one with the black background. They also did one before that with the McEwen's Lager in yellow writing. I think because it wasn't so clear when it was like when they were playing on TV and stuff, I think they switched to the one with the black box just so the McEwen's popped a little bit more. Yeah, I think I prefer the one with the black box, the yellow writing version, but they also had a third version as well, and that is the one that you probably recognise with the blue star, with the traditional Newkie Brown style blue star. I think most Newcastle fans prefer that version at the 3, and obviously they went on to have the Newkie Brown round logo from that point on. I love Asics, whatever you want to call it. I love 90s versions of Asics kits. Obviously the Muller kit was made by Asics. They did the buttons, the stripes are clean, it's a nice material. For me, as much as the new Newcastle kit isn't that bad, I've got to go with the 93-94 94 version. Remember guys, whilst I rank these kits, comment below, let me know if you disagree or agree with my opinions. It's always fun to find out what other people think. So Nottingham Forest haven't officially released their kit, but there's lots of leaked kits. Shout out to footyheadlines.com, which I've used quite often to refer to the new leaked kits. If you look at this kit on screen right now, it's similar to the Liverpool one. It's quite basic. Obviously it's an Adidas kit, not a Nike kit. I think it's nice. It's, again, like Liverpool, it's hard to dislike the kit, but it's very simple, quite plain. I think the Adidas stripes add a little bit of an edge to than the Liverpool kit. But if you compare it to the pinstripe version of the 93-94 kit, again, made by Umbro, and I'm always a big fan of Umbro in the 90s, I've got to go with the 93-94 kit. It's a little bit more creative, it's got a collar. I just think it's a little bit more unique than the leaked version of the Forest kit this season. So the fourth and final kit we're going to be looking at that isn't part of this ranking system is the Sheffield United kit. Now, I can't find much on Footy Headlines or any other website as to what the 23-24 Sheffield United kit's going to look like, but if you look on the screen right now, the 93-94 kit was beautiful. It has those laces with the round collar, as I mentioned earlier. It's a nice kit, red and white kits with a bit of black, lend themselves to looking quite nice anyway. So yeah, it'd be hard to top that I think this season for Sheffield United. By the way, behind me right now is my France 98 memorabilia wall. If you watched Soccer AM back in the day, Lovejoy did a France 98 wall leading into the World Cup, and I'm doing that as well. So every Monday I add a little bit of piece of nostalgia to the wall. So subscribe if you like a bit of France 98. Next up we got Tottenham, and Tottenham are an easy target, aren't they? I know at the wrestling last week fans were saying stand up if you hate Tottenham. Tottenham have become a bit of a meme club, and I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Tottenham. I don't know whether it's because Arsenal were a big rival of United's in the 90s, but when it comes to kits, I'm sorry, what the hell? Like the last few kits Tottenham have had, especially since they've had Nike, have all looked the bloody same. And I know a lot of Tottenham fans might like the simplicity, like Liverpool fans might like the simplicity with their new kit. It's basically the same as what they've had every season. Plain blue trim, nothing else on there, same sponsor, same kit manufacturer. But if you compare that to the 93-94 version, which they also had I think for the 94-95 season, to me that's the Klinsmann kit. It's got a beautiful collar, again a trim, but any kit that Tottenham have with Holston on, it's nostalgia, isn't it? Just brings back memories. They've got the shield round the badge, the old style badge Tottenham had in the 90s. The 93-90 kit is far superior for Tottenham than the 23-24 kit. So guys, we've got two more kits as well as the ranking of the Arsenal kit to finish off with. We've got the West Ham kit. On the screen right now is the West Ham new kit. It's a leaked version, but we're pretty sure this will be the West Ham kit for the 23-24 season. It's quite similar to what they've had before, but it's quite nice. It's like a throwback to the early 2000s version. Umbro have done quite well, nice collar, nice trim, nothing like too out there. They do have the bubbles, I believe, within the claret of the main part of the kit, which again is unique to West Ham of course, but it's very tricky when you come up against that legendary pony template from the 93-94 season. I've got such a soft spot for that template that I actually bid on that West Ham kit on eBay. Thankfully I didn't win it, because spending way too much money on a West Ham kit that I'm just displaying here, I probably shouldn't have done. But I love this kit. I love the Southampton one around that time as well. Easy winner for me, the 93-94 version. It's just a beautiful kit. And last but not least, we've got Wolves. Wolves, again, this is from Footy Headlines. This hasn't quite been released yet. It's very similar to the West Ham kit, but it's not made by Umbro, it's made by Castor. And they've got a nice collar, nice trim. I think it's better than last season's kit. And if you look at it compared to the 93-94 kit, I don't even know who made that kit. I think it says, I don't even know who made that kit. I remember that kit because my stepdad had that kit when I was a child. So even though there's a bit of nostalgia there, I didn't even really like the kit back then. And he always told me off for saying orange when Wolves have a gold kit. But yeah, I'm actually going to go with the 23-24 kit over that Goodyear kit. It was a beautiful sponsor, and it's the old emblem that Wolves had, but I just think the new kit has the edge. So Arsenal, I think, looking at the 23-24 kit, they've got the lightning bit within the actual kit, but the old one had that nice kind of sleeves, it had the Adidas equipment collar. very, very hard to separate the two Arsenal kits, so I'm actually going to leave that up to you guys. Let me know in the comments below what wins out of the 23-24 Arsenal kit and the 93-94 Arsenal kit. Leaving the Arsenal ranking aside, as well as those 4 clubs that haven't released the kits yet, we've got 9 points going to the 93-94 season and 6 points going to the new 23-24 kits, which obviously makes the 93-94 kits the winners. The 90s kits are they're always superior. We love the 90s, and if you love the 90s too, stick that thumbs up, subscribe, because we do weekly 90s football content. Obviously let us know which of the kits you like best this season and in the 93-94 season. And obviously if we get enough likes, I'll do another video following on from this where we look at the new Brighton, Burnley, Luton and Sheffield United kits that we didn't get to rank in this video. Obviously check out last week's video if you're a United fan or just want to look at the new shirt, comparing it to the 90s versions I've got over here. And there we go. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you next week.